In the negatives rebuttal, we would like to discuss our opponent's contention and why I believe that they are wrong. Now, my opponent's first contention was regarding practicality, how it would be better for each state to make a policy that is tailor-made for its own state's needs. However, you'll notice that the only specific example of how this would be beneficial he provided was when he discussed the economy and the agricultural industry. Now, simple economics, everyone knows the idea of supply and demand, and we all know that when there is a supply, when there is a demand, there will be a supply. Now this applies to immigrants in the fact that where there is demand of labor or where there is a certain economic need, then that is where the immigrants will be coming in to fill that need. And so there is no need for the states to create their own individual policies to economically nudge the immigrants in the right direction. They, by basic economic theory, tells us that they will go there by themselves. And so on this issue of practicality, we believe that there's nothing else for us to refute. And so we would again like to refer to our contentions, that fact that it would be actually more practical for the federal government to be at the helm of this issue, because first, their greater scope of power would allow them to more effectively deal with problems faced through immigration policy, and second, because it would simply be impractical for there to be 50 different policies in this nation. Imagine the challenges that would be presented for immigrants that are trying to enter this nation to have to acquaint themselves with so many different statewide policies. It simply would not make practical sense. Now, as for my opponent's second contention regarding the Constitution, it's important to note that the Constitution does in fact give the federal government this right by mentioning that they have the right to enforce a uniform rule of naturalization. Now, while my opponent tried to cast doubt on the Supreme Court, we all know that the Supreme Court is the highest court in the land and that their expertise is highly respected. And hence, from this standpoint and from this point in time, it can be seen that the Supreme Court's ruling is the most accurate that we have at this time. And so again, the federal government has the constitutional power here. And it's for these reasons that we believe that the federal government should have this power, not the states. Thank you.
Gentlemen, can we invite you downstairs? Let's give them all a round of applause. Well, while they're making their way down here, let me just ask you, so you've heard